On rolling.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Detox Dudes. I'm here with a very special guest, Sasha Daygame. What's your real last name, by the way?
Real name, it's a whole funny story about that, but Alexander Lazarev is my name.
Lazar.
But in Russian, Sasha's short for Alexander, just like Dick is short for Richard. So Sasha's my real name too.
Got it. Well, Sasha was there at the very, very beginning of my journey, guys. When I first started my blog, I had a web posting on the Superman diet, and I just started my own website. These guys at Infinite Man Summit reached out to me, and it was Sasha and Ryan, and they said, "Hey, man, we love your stuff. Do you want to come talk at our summit?" And that speech that you guys see on YouTube that has like 60,000 views right now, it's my most watched, my most amount of minutes viewed, and has just really helped a lot of people. That speech was from the Infinite Man Summit, and that was 3 years ago, October 3 years ago in London. And Sasha is runs that summit, so he was there for the very, very beginning, which kind of blasted off the Detox Dudes. That YouTube video, that speech was the core launching pad for my entire business so that people could see really what I'm about. So thank you, Sasha. Welcome to the show. Let's talk about you. What's going on in your life?
Life just keeps getting better and better, man. It's like I don't even know where to start. I've been traveling the world for years, helping men, coaching, doing events, doing trainings. It's just crazy. I've been on the move since like 2011. Haven't really slowed down. I'm just having a blast. It's just so much fun being me. That's it.
Yeah. And you've dove super deep in your health in the past few years, right?
Yeah. I've been working on all the areas, really. I mean, that's kind of our thing. But with health, yeah. Actually, it's interesting. The health element, that's actually what sparked my awakening, actually, because I was just kind of like, going through life like everybody, just doing the best I can, kind of clueless. And it was actually in 2009 when I found out they were putting fluoride in the water. That's when I started going, what? Like I did the research and I'm like, fluoride, it's a toxin, right? It's a toxin that calcifies the pineal gland. That's when I started waking up. And so that was my first thing. And then in the last few years, I've really got into it, man. I used to have, remember I was even asking you for tips about, digestion. I used to always get bloated. You gave me this this tea once, I remember. And
Yeah.
That's right. But I always used to get bloated. I always used to have extra weight on me. And I always tell myself these stories like, I'm Russian. I just got the extra fat. If I get stuck in an elevator, it's good. All this kind of BS. But I was addicted to food. I was eating too much. I wasn't doing fasting. So the last 2 years, I got really into dry fasting. I actually did a couple of breatharian initiations. Didn't go breatharian. Don't panic. But yeah, I just got into it. So intermittent fasting, eating really, really healthy, not food combining correctly. So now I pretty much have a semi six pack. I'm at my perfect weight. I feel great. My energy's good all the time. And if I'm really sticking to it, like I don't really need to sleep anywhere near as much. Like the brain is working. Like it's just amazing when you get the food addiction done and you're just eating healthy. It's a game changer. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. What percentage do you think people are operating at, most men in the world? What percentage compared to like what is possible?
Probably about 30%.
30%.
Yeah.
People have clogged colons, toxicity all throughout their organs and tissues, eating processed foods, low vibrational foods. And then when you clear that junk, it's like a whole new world opens up to you, right? Like a whole new portal of clarity and peace and just like precision, being able to think quickly and act quickly.
Yeah, it's a huge difference because like sometimes I go through phases, like if I'm sleeping less, if I eat a little poopy or whatever, if I'm not on it, literally I'm trying to remember something and I'm like, what was that thing? But when I'm on it, everything is just there. There's none of this fog, and you just have you wake up and you're just like, you just get out of the bed. You just get up and you're like, yes, another day, rather than just like, oh yeah, maybe I'll sleep a bit more. So it's like the more you stay clean, it's unbelievable. And it's just, you stop wanting the crappy foods because you know what they do to you. They lower your quality of life. They lower your presence. They lower the joy of living. It's just not worth it. At some point, you're just like, it's not worth it. You see people eating this stuff and you're like, why would you do that to yourself? You just get to that point. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's gotten to the point where like I see people giving somebody a birthday cake and I'm just like, ooh, is that really a gift or is that a curse? You know, what are
Yeah.
you doing for that person for their birthday? Um, yeah.
But it's such a simple thing. It's just like I do, you know, and I know a lot of people probably don't know about dry fasting. It's just not having food and water. And what people don't realize is that when you stop taking water, also your body starts using its deep water, which is actually the cleanest water in the world, is the water that's in our body. So you actually start using that to filter your lymphs and your blood. So you're using this deep water to clean everything out, and it's so powerful. And people freak out when they hear it. They go, "Oh my God, but you're going to get thirsty." Actually, most people that I know, it's easier to do dry fasting because when you drink the water, your digestion still starts to go and it goes, "Oh yeah, give me food," and you feel hunger. When you take nothing, you're just clean, and the body just goes, "Oh wow, we can really do some detoxing," and your body just starts cleaning stuff out. So it's weird. I'll be a day and a half, 2 days in, and I'll actually I'll start feeling like really fucking good because your body just goes, "Holy shit, we have all this energy that we're not using to digest food," and it just starts cleaning and doing all this stuff it couldn't do before. So it's really powerful. And even if you just do, I usually do 36 hours each week dry. It's really not hard. And once you get into it, man, it just starts cleaning out. And then I just do intermittent fasting, 6 hour window for food on the rest of the week. And that's it. So good.
Yeah, that's autolysis, right? Or autophagy, where the
Autophagy.
body,
Yeah.
or the body starts cannibalizing anything that it doesn't need. And the
Anything
body has its own
fast, yeah.
intelligence.
Oh my God, it's so amazing. It's like if people, I can get why they wouldn't want people doing this. It's like they don't want you doing anything where you can actually heal yourself. But like, can you imagine if people realize like to heal yourself from most things, just stop eating, stop drinking, let your body heal. It's like, it's amazing. I mean, it's a miracle. I mean, this is how we're made. We're made to have everything we need to heal. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, chicken's ready. Give me a second.
Yes.
I think there's a way to pause the recording, but
That's all right. It's just simple.
that was quick. So, yeah, fasting was a tool that I used a lot back in the day. I never actually did dry fasts, but I did a lot of juice and water fasts. And, what I'll say is for a large percentage of the population, it's a really, really awesome, beautiful tool. But a lot of my clients, fasting will actually make them weaker and sicker because they're so deficient, especially mercury toxic, aluminum toxic, Lyme clients. Fasting will actually make some people, if they don't have the electrolyte reserves and their adrenals are shot, fasting can make them weaker. But little 24, 36 hour fasts, I think, are good for mostly everybody. But for a lot of percentage let's just say if most of the population went and did fasts, the world would be a different place,
Totally. And also you get control of this, this beast mode we get into. You start eating and you're like, "Oh, that's so delicious." And you eat more. And then you're like, "Okay, I've eaten enough for the day." And then 45 minutes later, you're like, "I could eat a little bit more." Like that's just a natural thing because it's so delicious. And the body's just like, "Oh, we could eat more." But you break that habit when you do like a 36, even 24 hours. It just breaks it because you just realize at the end of it, you're like, "Actually, I haven't eaten in a day and a half, and I'm okay." And then you break it with a salad or some juice, something really healthy, and suddenly your stomach kind of shrinks, and it's like a psychological thing. You've broken that thing where you think you have to keep eating, and suddenly the next 2, 3, 4 days after the fast, you're eating way less than you were eating before. So those weekly resets, even 24 hours, they're life-changing. They're totally life-changing because they break that constant cycle of eating, and you just realize, oh, I could just not eat. It's just, you always could, but you're just so in that pattern. It's like somebody who's just believes they have to smoke all the time. But if you don't smoke for a day, you don't die. It's like you can do it. You're just not doing it, So it's, for me, changed the whole game.
And I remember back in the day, it really helped me with self-regulation. Like one thing I was never born with was an ability to self-regulate. I felt an emotion and it was like the end of the world. I had no option but to go all the way into that emotion and like, as if my life was about to end, a little bit of sadness would take me into despair. And what I realized is that what I did in those moments of emotional turmoil is I ate. or I did something to take my mind away from it. But when I was in the Amazon jungle and I was fasting and you don't have food to calm yourself down, you have no option but to sit there and breathe and resolve whatever it is that you're dealing with. Because food is a massive part of people's regulation, how they regulate themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes sense.
So what else, man? What else have you been working on, and what other kinds of things have helped your spiritual evolution and helped with your clarity and peace and productivity?
Wow. The last few years, it's just been getting really, really clear on purpose. Like, what am I doing here? And I find when you've got that, like, you're absolutely like, oh my God, I'm here to do this with my life. Everything just flows. Because the thing is, we have so much confusion as humans because it's confusing out there. We got so much going on, right? With the health problems and just trying to make money. They're taking like half of the money you make in taxes. And everybody's got a lot of programming, trauma that your parents passed on, all these beliefs, societal beliefs. We're trying to make other people happy. It's just hard being a human being, right? And so it's hard to really get really clear on just to get clean enough and clear enough on who am I and what am I doing here? And I really think they've kind of created a system that's a little, that's kind of toxic in every way. So it's difficult for us to really discover that, because that's really where our power lies. When you get 100% like, this is my purpose, this is why I incarnated, you become unstoppable. It's really, and so it's taken me, I'm 40 years old. It's taken me 40 years to get to this place where I'm just like, okay, I know what I'm doing here. And it's just unbelievable amounts of energy, like every single day doing whatever I can. And what happens when you find that, or at least in my case, there's a lot less of this ego stuff, like being more successful or having more money or having anything really. Like the more you really get into who you are, and especially if that's helping other people, like I know you'll resonate with this because that's what you do. You're helping other people on their journey. You're just doing it in the health, and I'm doing it with social freedom and dating and just getting overall their lives solid. But when you're at service and that's your passion, it just doesn't become about you anymore. Like it doesn't matter how much money I make. It doesn't matter how many YouTube subscribers I have. None of those things, my personal will it's not about me anymore. It's about the mission. It's about making the world a better place. And I find the more I come from that place, the more the world gives me everything I need to do that, because my will is for the benefit of all beings, for the benefit of the universe, right? It's kind of, there's an alignment between me and I think what evolution, what life itself wants, which is for people to be healthy and to evolve and raise their consciousness, right? That just seems to be what's happening, right? All beings evolve, humans evolve. That's what we're doing. So if you're really working with that power and you're really clear on it, I just seem to get so much support, like all these synchronicities, all these little miracles, meeting the right people at the right time. But it's the funny thing. It's one of those questions. People always say, oh, well, I'm trying to manifest. How come I can't get the stuff I want to? And I figured out the reason why. And I put up a video about this, and half the people loved it and half the people were angry at me because they didn't want to hear what I had to say. And what I said was, it doesn't work when you're manifesting from ego. When you're there like, oh, man, I just want to get a Lamborghini. Why can't I manifest a Lamborghini? I want to have well, why are you trying to get the Lamborghini? Is you getting a Lamborghini making the world a better place? No, you're getting a Lamborghini because you don't actually love who you are. You don't feel good about yourself, and you're hoping other people will give you approval. Maybe you'll get an impress a girl and you'll get a girlfriend or whatever. That's not working with the universe. That's not making the world a better place. That's ego. That's why you're having trouble. But when you go, you know what I'd like to manifest? I'd like to manifest a business where I can help people detox and save their lives and get healthy, and so they can go out there and be their best. Hey, guess what? You're gonna be successful with that. I'm trying to manifest men's events where hundreds of guys come and we help them get social freedom, be able to express themselves and do what they want to, and come up to beautiful women and start businesses and have the courage to live fearlessly and create the lives that they want. Well, the universe seems to be supporting that. That's going quite well because it's in alignment, right? My life is in alignment with the will of the universe. And so miracles keep happening and they're becoming normalcals. I've seen crazy things happen in the last few months, and it's just becoming like normal. Yep, that's just what happens. So it's just a beautiful thing. So that for me has been the last couple of years down the spiritual, just clearing away everything that doesn't serve me, all these any negative thoughts, any beliefs, trauma from my parents. And it's been tough, man. I've done some hard work, but it just pays off when you really do the work and you have that courage to just admit to yourself, yeah, I'm a human being. Human beings are fucked up. We've all got that damage. We've all got that trauma, and really do that self-work, whatever that is for you. And it's different. Your clients it's health and detoxing. So you're really, really strong helping people in that element. For me, I never had massive health problems, but for me, it was self-love, self-acceptance. You know, my mom just was very physically and psychologically abusive. My father ran away. So for me, it was, I just never felt worthy. I never felt comfortable enough to come up to a beautiful woman and just say, hey, you're beautiful. I'd like to get to know you. You want to go on a date? I could never do that. You know, so for me, that's been my personal journey, accepting and loving myself and coming to that realization that I am good enough as I am, just being a part of creation, that, you know, the universe doesn't make mistakes. I'm here for a reason. I've got my unique purpose, and there's nothing I need to do to prove to the world that I'm worthy. I'm worthy because I am.
I love that, man. I got
Boom.
the chills as you were talking. There's like three things that came in my head as you were talking. The first thing is that book about the Holocaust, and it's called Viktor Frankl. Do you know that book?
I do know that book.
Man's Search for Meaning.
Man's Search for Meaning.
In that book, he talks about, if a man has a why, he can withstand any how. And he said it in a more elegant way. And when you're talking about, once you land on your mission, all this energy comes in, you're unstoppable. I totally feel and believe that once you find your purpose, and that purpose evolves over time, it's not just fixed, but once you find that nugget of like, oh, I'm on this planet for this reason, and it's aligned and you're connected to a higher power and able to feel that, you can withstand any amount of pain. Pain all of a sudden gets put into a little compartment instead of being this, you know, taking over your entire body and taking over your entire life, because you have that mission. You know, and in line with that, you said the next piece you went into was the personal versus like the transpersonal. You know, I'm always thinking about me, right? Like, this is the thing that my girlfriend reflects to me. I'm always thinking about me. How can I get more? How can I do more? It's like, how can I have more? It's always thinking about me. And the feminine energy is always thinking about the planet, always thinking, like, she's always thinking about the land and the planet and the water and all of this. And I'm like, wow, we have such different ways of navigating through life. And I really feel that when we can, and I'm working on this myself, when we can step into that transpersonal and kind of commit suicide in a way, take ourselves out of it, we have to meet our needs, of course, right? But if we can, a piece of us can figuratively commit suicide to what we need, what we think we need, we become so much more powerful, and we can withstand so much more pain and handle so much more voltage, you know, like energy and voltage coming through us. So, and then that third, I had something else on that third piece that you mentioned, but I'm blanking on it. But anyway, that was totally beautiful and exactly what I'm working on as well. And that manifestation bit, you know, the third piece I wanted to talk about is, you know, you have, you historically had this business of pickup, right? And I know you're not really about that anymore, but the message I always had for men was like, if you really want to pick up women, stop caring about it, right? Like, stop actually trying or caring about if you pick up women. And that's that thing when you're gripping and grasping so hard to want something and grab something, it ends up just, you become like a repelling agent to it. You know, so I've always found in my life that if I really want something, I have to work on why I want it, and then get to the root of why I want it so bad and fix that little piece of the puzzle, stop wanting it, and then it kind of comes in like a magnet. Have you found your life to be similar?
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's like the universe seems to like balance everything out. So, because they're always, it's like, you know, Star Wars, you know, there's a disturbance in the force. That's actually how things work. If you really want something so bad, it's kind of an imbalance, because it's actually, it's not normal for you to desperately want something that bad. So the universe goes, no, and it just kind of pulls it away. And if you're just like, put it out there, like, yeah, that would be really good. I think that would be good for everybody, actually, if I got that. But I'm happy with who I am in my life anyway. And you kind of go on with your life. The universe goes, well, you don't have to push back against that so much. And so it just kind of shows up. It's almost like magic. But that's really what it comes down to. It's like when you're on your purpose, and you're here to really make the world a better place, and you're really being who you are. And that's the key here. It's the being who you are. And this is one of the things that kind of exploded in my mind when I realized that when you really figure out why you're here, it's so linked to who you are. Like who I am, it's inevitable that I'm doing what I'm doing. Like there isn't anything else I could do because I remember who I am. And who I am is somebody who wakes people up out of the matrix and helps them become the highest version of themselves so they could live authentic lives. That's who I am. I wake people up. I can't not be doing that. So literally who I am is what I do. I can't do anything else. I could be sitting there at Trader Joe's trying to buy some bananas and there's a guy standing next to me and I can just see he's just like has low energy or is a little bit depressed. I'll start talking to him and I'll just, whatever I can do in that 3 minutes standing next to him, I'll try and help him. I'll be like, bro, man, yeah, you look like you could use a bit more energy. Have you heard about this book? It could really help. I mean, I can't not do it. It's like a sickness. I joke about it. I go, I'm a sick man. I try to help people. I can't do anything else. So that's the thing. When people are like, they got some job they don't like or life's not going the way they want. It's like, if you can, like, we all have to play the matrix game. We all got to, we got to work to get some of this money stuff to pay the bills. I get it. But like, never quit discovering who you are and what you're doing here. Because once you even get an inkling of that, you start following that rabbit hole, your life will change completely and it can become joyful every single day. But don't quit. That's my message. If you don't know why you're here and who you are, that's your job. Not working at Burger King or whatever other thing you're doing or work as selling stockbroker or whatever. Your job is to figure out who you are and what you're doing here because that is actually when life begins. That's when your life starts, when you go, oh my God, that's why I came here. That's why it's a big job incarnating. It's a pain in the ass. You're out there and who knows where, and to come in and then you have to get born and they put you in the hospital. They cut off the umbilical cord too early and they're blasting you with these lights and they're putting eye drops in. They separate. It's extremely traumatic. And then all the brainwashing comes in and you got to take student debt and all this, it's really traumatic being a person. But in my belief anyway, from what I figured out, we choose to come here. Nobody's forcing us. The universe doesn't go, you're going to go be a person. No. Mm-hmm. We're picking to come down here because it's for our evolution, because we want to learn something or experience something or evolve. And so why did you come? I mean, what a question not to ponder. Why did you come? And if you don't know, you got to find out, because that's literally when life starts getting interesting, when you find out. And that's literally the theme of this year's Infinite Man Summit.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I'd love to talk about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, look, each thing, years ago was all about dating and loving yourself and feeling good so you could attract a beautiful woman into your life. And that's been that's still one of our 4 pillars. But again, if you don't have your health, I don't have to tell you, you don't have anything, right? So you got to get the health down, and so health, wealth, relationships, and purpose. That's the whole thing. And so wealth, again, it's this funny thing, money, right? It's just this funny thing because it's just like, we have to have it. Unless you want to go, live in the jungle, you got to have this stuff. And so, but the interesting thing is, you can, and I truly believe this, and people hear this and go, oh no, I wouldn't be able to do this. When you really figure out your passion and you're doing it and it's helping people in some way, and because when you're really excited, your vibration rises up just being around you. People just want to be around you because you're happy. Like, we've all run into people and just been like, this guy's so happy, this woman is so happy. We want to be around that. So even if you're working at literally at Burger King and your vibration is high and you're just coming from that place of, oh, I'm going to make the most amazing, I'm going to serve people with joy in my heart. I'm going to be an amazing human being. Even I'm working at Burger King for $10 an hour. But guess what happens if you come from that place of service because you love humanity and you're seeking on some deeper level, like what you're really doing here, even though you're hustling? Guess what happens? The opportunities are going to come. Some guy who comes and buys a burger off you is going to be a multi-million, huge entrepreneur, and he'll be like, bro, I can't believe you're working here. You got such a good energy. Who are you? Listen, I'm starting this new business. You want to come work with me? That's what's going to happen, right? For sure, 100%. So it's all about raising yourself up. Even if you're not there yet, just know there is a reason you're here. It can get better. And so that's the thing. Once you really get into a place where you start feeling good, you will see the universe is going to provide you with opportunities to start a business or team up with someone or try something different. And eventually you can get on that path of really figuring out your purpose on the deepest level. And that's, for me, that's the thing. It's more important. Like, at this point in my life, now that I got mine and I'm just like so on fire, there's nothing more exciting for me to tell people. There's nothing more. There's like seeing somebody go from like, I don't really know what I'm doing, to just, I'm literally staying in this apartment in Lower East Side with one of my guys just over a year ago. He took one of our social freedom courses for dating. And in 1 year, he went from kind of being in a funk to dating a bunch of girls. His business blew up. He's in real estate, so he does all these real estate deals. He's making, like, because he just stopped being afraid and he just started going for it. His business is starting to kill it. He's got other people working for him. He's going to be he's just about to do a deal for a couple of million. So in about 2 years, this deal goes through. That's it. He's going to be a multimillionaire. That's all within a span of 3 years. 3 years, because he just got over his fear, started hustling, started feeling good. He quit smoking. He quit drinking. He quit all this stuff. He's working on his health now. It's unbelievable how quickly our lives change when we just make that choice that we're in control and we are here for a reason. And let's find out what that is and make the world a better place. It's ridiculous. So that's the focus of my life and this event, helping people figure out what are they doing here.
Yeah. When is the event?
So October 25th to the 27th is 3 days in Los Angeles, California. And then there's some extra training afterwards. It's really intense, but all that information will be on the website too.
This is exactly 3 years after my first speech ever. And I'll be talking again at this year's summit, delivering a very different speech, but still me, but I'm in such a different place than I was 3 years ago. So I have a lot to talk about and I'm really excited about it. But it's going to be very different. That first time I spoke there was about 4 or 5 months after coming out of a nightmare. But anyway, I'm stoked to talk about, to be there and talk. And I want anyone in my audience here, any of my followers, sign up for that event, especially if you're nearby in California. If you're within driving distance of that venue, you'd have to be absolutely insane not to go. I think it's like $250 for that event, right?
Yeah, it's like a couple $100.
I personally, when I went to that event, and I only went to 2 of the days of the full event, first of all, I've met lifelong connections, okay? And multiple people who I met at that event have helped my business in massive, massive ways. I got from just me personally from going to that event, I got clients out of it. I got that amazing YouTube video. I met epic people, friends, business partners, and Mike, like that ripple effect from going to that one event, those networks, the connections that I made from that one event, which again, I only went to half of the event, literally continue to spread like Sasha's virus that he talked about. It's like you go to this event and the virus will just start to spread about, positive virus, good things, and, spirituality and keeping your body healthy and purpose and entrepreneurship and everything that really men are seeking. I don't know any man that can honestly look at himself in the mirror and say nah, I don't want any of that. I don't really need sex. I don't really need money. I don't really need to live my purpose.
I don't need self-worth and self-love.
I don't need all that. I'm good here with this beer and drinking, and playing golf. I'm good.
You'd be amazed how many guys have that attitude. Really, it's unbelievable. Like I'll meet a guy and just like he's broke or he hasn't had a girlfriend in 3 years and he's like looking at porn and stuff. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Come to one. And I've met guys who make lots of money and they're just watching porn. And I'm like, you could just do my course and we teach you how to be able to talk to anyone, communicate, and get a girlfriend. No, I'm fine. I don't need to do that. What do you mean? What are you talking about? It's so frustrating. And it's like almost like people have to hit like a bottom. Like they literally got to bottom out and decide, okay, I have to change my life. And then they're ready, which is sad. But apparently that's how it works for a lot of people.
For health too. Yeah.
But it's unbelievable. And it's like the ego, right? The ego. It's such a fucker. Oh no. Oh no, I'm fine. I don't need help from anyone. I'm perfect. It's one of my most popular videos was a video I put up that's literally just called "I'm Fucked Up," where I literally just went on YouTube and I said, "Hey guys, somebody made a comment thinking that I was saying I was so perfect." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And I listed all the stuff that was wrong with me. I was judgmental. I still, I was worrying too much. I couldn't meditate. My mind was too active. And I listed all the things that I'm still improving on. And the comments were like, "Oh wow, Sasha, you mean you got issues too?" And I'm like, of course I have issues. I'm a human being. I'm not perfect. I'm working on stuff. So just being humble enough to go, yeah, we're all fucked up, every single human, and let's all come together and love each other. And from that place, let's just support each other in our journey and get better together. What a life-changing mindset from like, oh no, I'm good. I don't need anything. It's like, what, dude? What are you talking? So that's the thing at this event. All the guys that show up, they're really in their hearts. They're really there to love and support each other. There's no a-holes at the event. There's no a-holes. The people are really, like, they were beautiful when you were there, but man, it has changed. The people showing up now are just like, you just want to hug them all. They're just beautiful guys, really. Wow. And the friendships people make, People all the time tell me I'm my best friend, my best couple of friends. It's all from your event. It's
Wow.
unbelievable, the brotherhood, man. It's crazy.
I love that, man. It feels really, really good when you talk about it. You know, this is the best I've ever felt you. Your vibration that you're in right now, really, you've been doing amazing work on yourself, and I just want to commend you for that. It feels really good. I get excited as you speak. And so, guys, check out the info description. Check out the comment section. I'm going to have a link to this event. I'm speaking at it. Come meet me. Come talk to me. Hang out with me. If you're in the state of California, you'd have to be insane not to go to it. If you're anywhere else, I mean, if you have the time, I still think it's a wise investment from anywhere in the country. But genuinely, I'm not just saying that to support Sasha. I really know that it's a very, very serious, high-level event for getting your life together. Okay, so yeah, I'm really excited to come there. And I'm about to head to Iceland in about 3 hours. So I got to go. But is there anything else you want to say?
It's beautiful, man. Just anyone out there who's listening is like, yeah, sounds fun. But the but is literally like your ego making excuses because you're going to challenge it by loving, like getting better at something in your life. It's always the ego because your soul on the deepest level, you want this. You want more health. You want to find your purpose. You want to do what you're here to do. You want to have amazing women in your life. You want it all and you deserve it all. So give yourself this gift. Get your ass to LA. It's LA. Everyone could get to LA, bro. It's like you could do it.
Your car if you can't afford an Airbnb.
Yeah, whatever. Do what you got to do. We'll form a group. Actually, we'll form a group, and I'll link it as well, where all the guys that are coming are there. So if you need to lift with someone, if you want to stay with people, all the guys are super friendly. There's always people crashing on floors and getting lifts with people. So awesome. I'll make a group, and I will link that so everybody can find everybody.
Awesome. All right, and you can check out Sasha's YouTube channel in the info description as well. Sasha, it's been a pleasure, brother.
Dude, so really good, man.
Reconnect.
Can't wait to hug you and just hear your next talk. It's going to be epic.
Woo, I got big shoes to fill. My first one was pretty deep.
It was crazy. People like I don't want to like just big you up, but after you did that first talk, literally no one was talking about anything else for the first day and a half. Nothing. It was just like, holy fuck, that speech was crazy. Holy shit. I can't believe he went through all. I mean, it was the passion of just like that you fucking saved yourself. And you were so passionate about like that you could other people need to detox. It was like everyone in the room was like, detox. Fuck, we're gonna die if we don't do, you know. So but what a story. It's like again from the place I'm at now, and I'm sure you were supposed to go through that horror so that you could go through it and so you could help millions of other people. Same thing with me. When I was 6 and my mom was telling me I'm a piece of shit, I'm gonna amount to nothing, that I'm gonna be a garbage man and throwing boots at my head, I didn't get it. I didn't like it. I was confused. Now I'm like, of course that's what I signed up for because I was supposed to go through that and heal and get to this place where I could heal other people and help other people get through that and really find that self-love and self-acceptance that only you can really give to yourself. That's my path, but I had to go through that. If I had a picket fence, perfect, happy life, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now. I wouldn't be able to connect with people on this level. I just wouldn't.
Lost you for about 5 seconds, but.
Yeah. So anyway, so just anyone who's having a hard time as well, when you realize it's happening for a reason and it's actually helping you become the highest version of yourself in the future, it's beautiful.
I lost you for about 10 seconds, but it's all good because it's 11:11. We should stop at this very moment.
Beautiful. I love you, brother. See you soon.
Okay. Love you, Sasha. See you soon.
Everyone.
Ciao. Peace, brother.
And boop, stop button.